be under 10.
Okay.
And they were created, there's this group or this group that was created as magicians. That was their whole purpose, was magicians. And some dealt with all chants. One remembered all the chants and stuff, and all of the spells and stuff like that.
Can you do that for me? Give me chants and spells? Can you remember that?
No, but
No, not right now,
yeah.
but can you?
Yeah, I can do.
Huh?
I can do that. I can put them down on paper.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
And have you put them on paper yet?
No, not really. I don't. And that. And then I didn't make charts.
Wait a minute. We haven't finished these groups here.
Okay.
This is a magician. We had an interruption and had to cut the tape because the battery ran out. So we will continue with the interview at this time. Come on around, Paul. Who were?
Well, that's just standing
We
up.
were here before, I believe, huh?
Yeah, I was standing up.
You were standing up, right? And I think I was explaining, or I was mentioning that we hadn't covered these two interviews here. I mean, these two groups.
Yeah.
And now, when on the break, when we were recharging the battery, you came up with some more paper. So we
Yeah, I found the charts that go with
found the
this.
charts that go with this, right?
Yeah.
Further detail this. So you want to explain these then, and then go into those charts?
Okay, this group here, which has Damien, Ananiah, Druid, Case, David, and Peter, they all dealt with, they were in charge of doing the chants and doing animal sacrifices. So that's what their whole purpose was to deal with animal sacrifices. From 80 to 84, they were out and they were in charge of doing the chants, so they remember all the chants that they did. This last group was the one that handled eating flesh and drinking blood, human blood and stuff through the same time period as from 88 to 84 and stuff. And that was their whole thing, was doing that, plus they also were the highest level of the satanic altars, so they were the oldest ones.
You want to go back, since you found your notes, and
Yeah.
go through each of these other groups then?
Well, like I said, Alex, this one represents babies that were killed, or wish they were the babies that were killed. And that went from 1970 to 1984. That's when they were all created. It was in that 14-year time span. This group here was the ones that were forced to have sex with children that were under 6 years old because they were themselves under 6. These are baby altars. These are under 6. The next group was all under 10. And they were forced to hurt other kids to gain higher levels in the coven. And this group here was all the, like I believe I said before, they were the ones that were into witchcraft and doing the chants and doing black magic and stuff. And they were like 10 to 14.
You said these did the chants also on the human side.
Yeah,
and
they did the
animal
chants.
sacrifice.
All they did was black magic.
This
Were
group here.
magicians. They were magicians and
This group here.
witches. Yeah.
This one did the animal sacrifice.
So they did the animal sacrifices and the chants.
Okay.
Because they're separated.
You mentioned that these people did chants also?
They did the chants for the
Black
for their
magic.
black magic. So that's all they had. But they had all the chants that were involved with magic and Satan and stuff. So that's where that's.
Okay, now you have a chart for that?
At. Yeah.
Just hold that up. I don't think you can see it though. These are notes that you made earlier.
Yeah. These are notes I made earlier, and
They're in pencil also, which is a problem. What's this here?
trying to
Oh, this is what they each did.
hold them straight again. I think I can.
Let me turn them sideways first.
Yeah.
Okay, there they are.
Pencil part I can't see, but
Yeah.
that I can get most
Well,
of
we'll
it in.
clarify this. These notes here are in pencil, and they explain each group. These pencil parts.
So I got a perfect photo on each one of them right now, and I'm going across the page. Okay. Now you can turn it sideways and see if I can see the lettering. See if I can focus in on it. Just hold it steady. Yeah, I got a perfect one. Okay. I'm so glad this thing has autofocus on it. Okay, now to go down a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Move the paper so I can see.
Sideways.
Well, all together so I can see the chair, so I can focus it on the chair again.
You want me to
Yeah, just pull
it?
it down. That way I can.
Okay. Because we still have to go back and look at the charts.
But this can look real fun on the tape part of this thing.
How's that?
Huh?
How's that?
All the movement. But it'll look okay.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm back.
Okay, now you're back. We've got this
I
one
don't have a
covered.
camera.
Now we need to go to,
Now you can go to one of Dustin's, which is down.
yeah, here's Dustin.
Dustin?
Dustin's here on the
Dustin.
master chart, and here he is. This goes right in there.
Well, this goes into Carl's.
Okay, so,
Dustin right here.
huh? This the next one we should have?
That should be the next one, because that tells who his people are. Okay, Alex and
Zach.
Zach, they, and I also have more notes on them, so I can look them up real quick and tell you what everything is. So much better when I had everything in my head. But Zach's group was mainly made up of like a computer system in my head. They were like, all the personalities in them held specific things for containing all the information. They had hypnotic suggestions and stuff. Some of them weren't real personalities. They were just kind of hypnotic ones. That's the ones under Zach. Ones under Alec, they're not personalities, they're simple, you know, they're just kind of a file system to hold memories of all the other alters and stuff and keep everything from being united into one personality. They try to keep everything from being put into one personality. Alex is he's the controller of that network. And then after him you go into Sean and Ryan, and Sean and Ryan's total purpose was
Sean, here's Ryan on the master chart.
yeah, Sean and Ryan down here on the master chart, and they're also up here. Sean had a lot of personality and stuff. They were a lot of them were hypnotic suggestions. They had really no memories and stuff. They just gave names to. I gave them names to simplify them and stuff. A lot of them they held like learning how to drive a tank, or.
Well, did you actually know how to drive a tank?
Mm-hmm.
Who taught you that?
That was part of the military training with Monarch.
Okay.
So.
We'll go into that later.
Yeah, and then we got Ryan, and he had abilities too, and they were mostly intelligent and sabotage and learning how to spy on other people and other places, and that was their whole purpose for being created. And then the lost personality, as I call him, is Kelly.
Kelly's not on here.
Well, Kelly's down here.
Oh, he's over here.
Okay.
You're going back to the satanic.
I got the chart in the wrong place. I thought it was the lost guy that I lost a long time ago. I looked for the wrong name when I was trying to read it. That happens every once in a while. On this one here, I should explain. Paul Jr.'s name used to be Demaya. He changed it. He didn't like it because it was a satanic name, and he wanted nothing more to do with that stuff. So, I'm getting all of you. Then we got Bradley, who's down here.
What, did you have any more on Kelly?
On Kelly, his personalities were just ones that were locked up all the time.
Oh, they're locked up behind doors and closets.
Locked up,
and
closets, prisons, stuff like that.
Okay. So when you were in prison, did you have Kelly's personality, or were you integrated then?
I had him when I first went in and stuff, so it's like he dealt with a lot of the beginning stuff. So.
Okay.
And then we got Bradley's group here. They were all had set purposes and stuff. They had been had military training and stuff like that. And some of their names were like Sylvester, Roger, Scorpio, Magi, Dennis, and Robert. And they're...
You had 6 personalities there.
Yeah, they were forced to do things with other men for the military to kind of blackmail politicians and stuff to get the military whatever they wanted. And then we got Carl, who's not the last one. Brandt's the last one, but
Carl's here and Carl's here.
yeah, Carl there. Well, same one as up here, but his group, and it's very specific on everybody that was in his group and stuff. He had 21 people, 3 groups of 7. He had Simon, who was like a computer sergeant at the clerk. He was like the one that ran that. And he had Logan, who was an electrician tech, Donald, who was a computer tech, Perry, who was a secretary, Wesley, who was a secretary, Edward, who was a computer specialist, and William, who was a computer specialist also. And they mainly ran, you know, when we had to deal with like computers either inside my head or outside, they're the ones that ran them, and even fixed my sister's computer when I first got out because she had some problem with it. They just went in and straightened it out. It was just on punching stuff in right. And she's been through school for that, and she still didn't know how, and her instructor didn't know how, and I just went in 5 minutes and had it completely fixed.
Impressive.
And then we have Jeff, who is the secretary chief. He's like, or security chief, not secretary chief, security. He was in charge of security inside. He's the one that kept us all safe. He was like the very violent
This is the 21 personalities, yeah.
Yeah, and he had Jackie, who was a security guy.
Before we sit down, go over those notes in front of the camera.
Okay, good.
We're still talking about Carl, right?
I want to sit down. Take a drink. Get in the middle of the table. Pull a chair inside.
These are Carl's personalities.
Yeah. Jackie was one of them under him. He was like in charge of security. He's the one that kept everything tight-lipped on these, so they wouldn't say nothing. Shane was a weapons sergeant. He knew all about weapons and stuff. He was the one in charge of putting them out. Dan, he's the one I used to call Ninja all the time. He's the martial arts instructor for all the other personalities. He taught all the other ones how to fight, which wasn't hard when I knew how to. You know, I was the highest degree one. And then you got Brian, who was in security, and then you got Douglas and John, who were weapons specialists. They fixed them and tore them apart and tell you about an M60 machine gun and all that other stuff. Then down below you got Shanna, who was in charge of demolition. You got Fox, who was an engineer, Sloan, who was a demolition expert, Henry, who was an information and demolition, Tom, who was a pilot, Greg, who was an information sergeant, and Nick, who was an explosives expert. So that's what their total purpose was. It's like all he knows about it was in the past when I wasn't in grade to have gotten him out. One thing he told you about is, you know, how to make things blow up. You know, how much dynamite you'd need to blow up a bridge or a building, or...
You learned this all in the military.
Yeah. How to light up your Christmas tree.
Did we cover Bradley's 6 personalities?
Bradley...
Here's Bradley here.
Yeah, we did him just before.
And how about Brent?
Brent, he was actually not a personality for abilities. He was a personality for disabilities, mostly. He was the one that caused blindness for me. I mean, in the physical body, he would cause these things to happen. It's like, while my vision would go out on me sometimes, he'd block things out so I couldn't see memories of things. He'd actually take pictures that people would show me and show me somebody else. Like, he'd show me a picture of somebody, and he'd show me a picture of the Pope. That's what I'd see. And you're showing me a picture of Ronald Reagan, he's showing me a picture of the Pope, just to confuse me. He had deafness, numbness. He gave me a temperature, he gave me weakness in the arms, chest pain, seizures, headaches, weakness in the legs, weakness all over, cramps in the legs, stomach cramps, speech slurred, and touch disability, because I used to have no feeling in my fingers. He's the one that caused that. Because every time he ever got in trouble, they used to smack his hands, or cut his hands, which I got cuts in my fingers, so he decided he didn't want no feeling in his fingers, so he just did that.
Okay. Okay, how about this last chart here? This is this Dustin. Can we go through Dustin already?
Dustin was the one that just had the, I think that's somebody else's chart, isn't it? Carl's chart.
It's Carl.